I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me, ballin' like Houston.
What is going on, guys? Jesse here. So today we're taking a look at two of what are, in my opinion, the best wireless noise canceling headphones to come out this year. And I think the interesting thing about this comparison is that even though these are both great headphones, they take two completely different approaches on how to solve the puzzle of making the best headphone. And the frustrating part is that there's merits to both approaches, and I really wish I could just take the good parts of both these headphones and mash it up into the perfect hybrid set. But sadly, that option does not yet exist. So as usual, the answer of which one you should go for isn't as simple as always go for this or always go for that, but it's more about what your situation is, how you use headphones, and what you value in a set of headphones. So let's take a look at both of these, compare them, and see which one might be the better option for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be the cases, and I think the first thing you're going to notice about these two is that the Bose case is a lot larger than the Airpods. I think volume-wise, it's probably about 50 to 75% larger if I had to guess. Don't quote me on that because I'm definitely guesstimating, but you get the point. The Bose case is a lot larger than the Airpods, and not just by a little. And that difference in size really does have a big impact on the day-to-day usage of these. Like the AirPods Pro are, in my opinion, the gold standards in terms of portability and pocketability for earbuds, which just makes living with them really easy. Like you can just slide these into a pocket and not even notice that they're there sometimes. And that's of course partially because of the size, but the shape and glossy finish help out with that as well. But apparently that also makes these one of the most easily pickpocketable items in existence though. Like because it slides so easily in and out of pockets, all you have to do is take a finger, slide it up, and it pops right out. Probably not something you'll have to worry about, but I just thought it was a pretty fun fact. But anyways, the convenience factor is only further improved by the addition of this lanyard loop, because I know a lot of people like to carry these on their keychain, and now you don't need to get an extra case for that, which is awesome. The Bose, on the other hand, are just kind of big and cumbersome to carry around. Granted, they are smaller than last year's version, but that's really not saying much. And you can fit these into most pants pockets if you're a guy, but it's not comfortable. And the advantages of the AirPods Pro case don't just stop there. They've added some features this year that are genuinely just really nice to have. First being this speaker on the bottom. If you've misplaced them, you can just hop into the Find My app, have them play a sound, which makes them really easy to find. It also plays sounds for charging indication, which is really nice. The AirPods Pro case also supports multiple forms of charging, wired via Lightning, wireless Qi, MagSafe, or with an Apple Watch charger. And that for me has been one of the biggest improvements on this year's model, because I have all those chargers just kind of around, and sometimes one is taken but the other is free, or vice versa, and having that flexibility is such a game changer. Meanwhile, the Bose only supports wired charging via USB-C, and even though I'm glad it is USB-C, it's a little bit disappointing not to have wireless on here, especially considering the price. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't use wireless chargers, so you're wondering what's the big deal, but it really is one of those things where once you start using it, it's just impossible to go back. Battery life is pretty much the same on both of these though, with about 6 hours in the buds and a couple more charges in the case. The AirPods Pro case does hold a little bit more juice than the Bose case does, but I really wouldn't consider it much of a win, and I haven't had an issue with battery life on either of these. Okay, so I've been pretty hard on the Bose so far, but there's a couple of very important things that the Bose do a lot better than the AirPods Pro, namely noise cancellation and audio quality. And not to say that the AirPods Pro are bad in any of those categories, it's just that the Bose are exceptionally good. Like noise cancellation wise, the Bose Quiet Comfort Earbud 2s are the best on the market. Period. Like nothing even comes close to these right now. The noise cancellation on the AirPods Pro isn't bad, and I would actually consider it one of the best as well, but just when you compare it to the Bose, it starts to look a little bit less impressive. They both do a great job with canceling out lower frequency noises like engines and that kind of thing, and in most situations you're not going to be bothered by those kinds of noises on either of these. But the Bose just does a lot better job of canceling out those higher frequencies as well. And I think the best way to describe the difference between the two is I just remember that first time I tried on a pair of noise canceling headphones, like the whole world just melting away and you're just left with like silence and your music. I got that feeling again with these because they're just so much better than everything else that's on the market right now. I mean, if you just have the AirPods, I'm sure you're gonna be very satisfied because compared to every other earbud that isn't the Bose, these are pretty great. It's just being able to switch between the two, you'll definitely notice a difference. But then I guess the downsides of the Bose on that front though is that if you're sensitive to that cabin pressure feeling that comes with active noise cancellation, these are probably gonna bother you because it's pretty strong. The other thing was that there's a very significant noticeable like hissing sound every time these are on. It's quiet enough that if you have any kind of audio playing, then it'll just disappear, but if you're just wearing the headphones with nothing playing, then it gets a little bit annoying. I actually thought this might be like a one-off problem with one pair of earbuds that I got, but this is actually my second pair and it was present in both of them. And I definitely don't think it's bad enough to be like a deal breaker or anything, but I did find it a little bit irritating. That being said though, I still think that the AirPods Pro do have an edge when it comes to transparency mode, or I guess aware mode in the case of the Bose. They just sound a lot more natural and it genuinely does almost sound like you're not wearing headphones at all. But audio quality wise, the Bose just sound a lot better with a lot more low end for that richer, fuller sound, but also with a lot more clarity in the vocals as well, which I really appreciate and is especially hard to achieve when you have a really strong low end like the Bose do. And overall, the Bose are probably one of my favorite sounding wireless noise canceling headphones on the market right now. So yeah, really like the sound on these. One thing I really did appreciate about the AirPods Pro though was comfort. Even though the Bose, like the way that they're shaped is actually really nice and fits in the ear well, there's just not a lot you can do to get around the fact that they're so big and they displace a lot of cartilage in your ear. And just comparing these two side by side, you can really see how much larger the Bose is, especially the part that actually goes into your ear. And over time, it just causes a lot of discomfort. And I found that especially while working out, I could definitely feel the extra weight of the Bose in my ears. Like while I was running, every time I took a step, I could kind of feel the earbud shifting down a little bit and just making it a little bit uncomfortable. The Bose do have these secure fit wingtips, which actually do help a lot in letting them not fall out, but overall I found the AirPods Pro to just be a lot more comfortable and secure for me. These also both have media controls on the buds. The Bose have these touch pads on the side that you can tap to play, pause, skip, or reverse, and swipe up and down to change the volume. And on the AirPods Pro, you can do all those same things, except instead of tapping a touchpad, you squeeze the stem. And overall, I really do prefer the AirPods Pro system just because it's really pretty much impossible to accidentally activate. Like on the Bose, you can pause your music just by like brushing up against it on accident, which I found really annoying, especially when I was doing like pull-ups or shoulder presses, really anything where I had to like raise my arm. My shoulder would kind of make contact with the touchpads and then pause whatever I'm listening to, which got really old really fast. The AirPods Pro, on the other hand, require pressure on both sides of the stem, so if you want to activate them, you really gotta mean it, which I really appreciated. And the last thing I want to talk about before we get into the mic test and wrap this up is that on the Bose, you can't just listen to the left earbud by itself. Like as soon as you put that right earbud back in the case, both of them disconnect, which I found really annoying because that's something I do all the time. One little workaround that I found though was just to have the right earbud out of the case, but just in my pocket or something. Not ideal because you do then have to worry about losing that right earbud, and you can use the right earbud on its own without the left one, but on the AirPods Pro, you can use either of them just by itself, which is a lot better. That may not affect you, but that's something that I do pretty much every single day, so that's a big win for the AirPods in my book. But with that out of the way, let's get into the mic test. All right, so the audio you're hearing now is coming from the mics on the AirPods Pro, and yeah, this is what they sound like. This is what you can expect other people to hear if you're calling them. And yeah, let me know how you think it compares to the Bose, which is coming up next. And this is the audio coming from the mics on the Bose Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2. And yeah, let me know how you think it sounds. How is it compared to the AirPods Pro 2? Is it better, worse, just okay compared to them? Yeah, let me know. Okay, so you might have noticed that just in terms of sheer number of advantages on paper, the AirPods Pro are really coming out ahead on here with better convenience, comfort, and portability. And I will say that if I just had to choose between the two of these and I can only have one, it probably would be the AirPods Pro. But the areas that the Bose come out on top in, namely noise cancellation and audio quality, I think have a much heavier weight to them than those other categories. And in fact, they're so good in those categories that I can almost overlook those shortcomings that these have. And I actually end up carrying both of these with me on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, it would be nice if the AirPods Pro could get better noise cancellation and audio quality to match the Bose. And it would be really nice if the Bose could get smaller to match the AirPods Pro. But sadly, right now, that choice does not exist. But for now, these two are my favorite wireless noise canceling earbuds. And I guess my recommendation would just be that if you care more about convenience, then go for the AirPods Pro. If you care more about sound quality and noise cancellation, then the Bose is probably going to be your best bet. But either way you go, you'll probably be happy. And I know I didn't go over every little feature on both of these earbuds, but I tried to mention everything that I noticed while using both of these for a prolonged period of time, and tried to mention things that I thought might be deal breakers for certain people. So hopefully you found this video helpful, or at least a little bit entertaining. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked it, sub if you loved it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through.